Okay, YouTube, this is my second video in a series talking about the sequence board game that I implemented on not only a board but then a computer. So my first video I showed you the board game that I created on a 2 foot by 2 foot ceiling tile that I had been shown. And since I had a computer science background and doing quality assurance, but I had programmed in college and always loved programming. So, I had programmed various card games in Pascal and whatnot, particularly a blackjack game, but I decided to tackle sequence. So I wrote this game in 2002, 2003, early 2003 in C. Okay, so this would work either on a Windows, a DOS system, or on Unix. So let's just run through this. I'm going to pick one player, one human player. You could pick two, but let's pick one. Okay, it shuffles the cards. Alright, so I drew a text version of the board here. There are 10 columns by 10 rows. I just labeled the columns 1 through 10 and the rows 0 through 9. So the spots on the board basically have an index. This would be spot 1 all the way to 10. This would be 11, 12 all the way to 20, 21 through 30. You get the idea, 91 all the way down to spot 100. Okay, this is the heads-up display. It basically says this is round 1. Team 1 is up. The current player is human 1. That's me. There's no runs for either team. And here are the 5 cards that the computer dealt the human player. 6 of clubs, 5 of spades, 3 of hearts, 5 of spades, 8 of hearts. Okay, now this is different than the board sequence game by jacks. I think they have 7 cards dealt to each player. Here you only do 5. So what I did for this text version of the game is I blanked out the spaces where the computer or where the human player could possibly play. So normally this would be what? This would be the 8 of hearts, 10 of hearts, 9 of hearts, 8 of hearts. The 8 goes here and the 8 is also down here. So you can see the 8 of hearts can be played on space 4 or space 97. Those would be the indexes of those spots. So I went ahead and blanked out them to kind of show the player, to give them an idea where a possible run could be. Okay, so the thing that I see is it looks like there's no more than 2 spaces in a row of 5, either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. So I'm just going to play this spot right here, 77. So that would be this 3 of hearts here. So I'll just type a 3, and it gives us a choice. Do we want to play spot A or B? I'm going to say B for 77, and ask for a confirmation, so I'm going to say yes. And I print out some debugging information, and there you go. There's our spot that we just played, and it says the 10 of hearts was drawn as a new card, and the 10 of hearts went where the card that we just played went. I think it was the 3 of hearts, right? So, okay. So, just hit return. Okay, so now here's the computer player. It's going to print some debugging information, and then it played its mark right there. These two people, the computer, are going to use a hyphen, and myself and my partner across the way are going to use a star. Okay, so let's just go ahead and keep going. Again, some more debugging information, and then the computer player played right here. Okay. And let's run through the other computer player played down here. Okay, so you get the idea. Maybe let's just do one more round. So we've got 2 chips in a run of an area of 5. But I have this space down here, but it won't help with this chip here. But let's just go ahead and play this 8 of hearts down here. So 5 and B. Yes. Okay, so we played down there, and just run through this maybe one more round. Okay, and so now we're up to round 3, and you can see how the board is progressing. And so as soon as you get 5 stars in a row, then that's a run for team 1, or 5 hyphens in a row, that's a run for team 2. And if the players have any red jacks, they can put a chip, if they like, anywhere on the board that hasn't been played, and then if they have a blackjack, they can take a chip off of their opponents anywhere on the board. Alright, so hopefully that gives you an idea of where I started with this programming in C. And then my next video, actually, then once I learned Visual Basic 6 with a mouse interface, then we're able to actually work with a GUI and see the actual cards and click on the spaces where you would want to play. But you can see where a lot of the logic came from, because pretty much the same idea. Then I used this in the Visual Basic version with this basically two-dimensional array and keeping track of the cards and where the chip has been marked. And eventually, I think if I have the time, then I'll go ahead and reprogram this in Java, so then we can run this on Linux or a Mac. Alright, thank you for watching.